A Cup of Tea to Silence the Breathing. Art and Story by Patrick Moskwa. As a kid, I was petrified to open my closet door. I constantly heard rumbling and breathing from behind it. I was a twin, but he died shortly after we were born. I was convinced it was him. My mom said I was being silly. One day we moved to a new city, and the first thing I did was open the closet. I knew there wouldn't be anyone lurking in this one. There was nothing there but silence. Soon after, I began to grow anxious and lonely. I missed the breathing and rumbling behind the closet. I would wake up in the middle of the night, longing to hear the sounds, but there was no breathing. My loneliness turned unbearable, so Mom would bring me a cup of tea to help me fall asleep. I started seeing my old closet doors in my dreams, hearing them breathe, seeing them flutter. In my dreams, the doors became lungs, expanding and contracting with every breath. I would wake up elated by the thought that my twin was back. Laying awake at night, I was hoping to hear him again. One night, all my yearning came true, and the breathing returned. My mom grew worried and brought me a cup of tea to help me fall asleep. In the morning, I overheard my mother crying in the kitchen. She was on the phone with her friend. Without even a whisper, we suddenly packed up the apartment and left. She told me she got a nursing job in a new city, and we had to be there right away. It seemed like the move took only one breath, and it was over. I laid awake crying because I thought the breathing would be left behind again. So Mom made me an extra strong cup of tea to fall asleep the first night. It continued like this for weeks. We arrived in the early summer, and I didn't have any friends. Mom worked all the time, and so my loneliness grew even stronger. As the weeks passed, I started coughing. Mom said it was because of stress from moving in such a hurry, and would make me tea, sometimes two, to help me fall asleep. In my deep loneliness, I started hearing the breathing again, but this time it was coming from everywhere. The breathing grew constant, as though it was my own, echoing in my head. Mom would bring me tea to help me fall asleep, yet the breathing grew louder each night. My coughing became uneasy, and my mother decided not to enroll me in school for September. Instead, she would only work nights and take care of me. Each night, before leaving for the hospital, she would make us a cup of tea, and we would sip them together as I lay in bed. That night, the breathing filled my ears. It was all I could hear. The door would breathe with each of my breaths, bigger and bolder each time. It would vibrate when I coughed. It would quiver when I wheezed. Each breath became more labored, and the door would strain along with me. I heard my mother crying in the morning. She was weeping on the corner of my bed, and she held my dead, limp body in her lap. She sipped on a cup of tea as I heard her say, "I'll join you soon. Just one more sip."